Hi, this is Ted Aguhab again. In this video, I will show you how it's possible to turn a tiny amount of money, say $2,540, into 5 figures using my 2-pet patterns. This was a real-life experience of mine. This tiny account was just a test E-Trade options account that turned to a massive percentage gain of almost 1,700% in a tiny period of just 19 months. If you want to see the actual 1099 forms I sent to the IRS for tax purposes from 03 to 04 with a proof of all these trades on a PDF file, go to this link. Keep in mind that during this era in early 2003, we were just 3 months off the low set in October 2002. Every major high flyer was decimated beyond decimated. Imagine buying Apple during this time for just $11. This chart was part of the actual October 2002 bottom call chart and made for the NASDAQ. Yes, way back in 2002, I called the actual NASDAQ bottom within 25 points of the actual low. It hit 1100 and I called 1075. The fact that I believe in it strongly is what kept the wind behind my sails for many years. This is the actual text that accompanied the chart that I just showed you, the October 2002 bottom call. The highlights are this. If this bubble correction lasts as long as the 1930s Great Depression, it would last 31 months. 31 months would target October 2002 for a big bottom, which happened. The next big highlight is this. I have a NASDAQ target as low as 850 to 920 and 1075 if equal length to wave 1 from 2099 to 1696. Before retracement, if the fifth wave bottoms at 850 to 1075, a standard 0.302 retracement would rally the NASDAQ to 2500 to 2600 and a 0.618 3500. After 5 huge waves down, there's always a retracement, and this should be no exception on this chart. And we're at actually right now NASDAQ 4080. The chart you're seeing is another reason I had faith in my 2002 bottom call, and another reason why I stayed on the long side of the trade from this dead period to 2004. After we rallied off the low with the wave 1, the wave 2 zigzag formed, and I was calling for a 1277 wave 2 bottom low. It happened to touch 1252, bottom in a zigzag wave 2, and break above 1502, setting up the third wave. This third wave I rode to the max, and combined with my newly discovered and polished wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 pattern setup, I loaded up and traded dead tech stocks. The 2100 target I called soon emerged. By the way, this chart is so retro for me, it takes me way back. Ah, Santa Monica, California, how I miss you. You are now seeing my January 29th, 03 to February 28th, 03 miracle Rambus trades, along with my early entry into the former penny stock that was a Chinese internet stock sensation, Sohu. The massive 7 to 17 spike that occurred in a matter of days in Rambus is the main reason why this tiny account rocketed from $2,540 to $5,998 in this 1 month period. It wasn't one lucky company got acquired triple. There were 21 skillfully made trades that one of my members, Cal Career, described as one of the most brilliantly executed series of trades I've ever seen. I'm surprised Ted hasn't come out to bow. What happened was, this 1-2-3 pattern break setup that I was tweaking in 2002 became lethal. I mean, very lethal. You can't see it on this chart, but Rambus formed this pattern 5 to 7 times in this 5-day period, and each time hit the button on every 0.786 break. The spike was definitely tradable. You just had to wait for the wave 2 and 0.786 pattern break repeatedly until it was milked dry. I also made a strong AMAT trade during this period and discovered the Chinese internet stocks before they were all about to rocket exponentially until the end of 2003. Here's how it works. Essentially the most anal and safest way to safely buy into a third wave, but you need to have confidence that 1. The first was a real first wave. 2. The wave 2 retraces near 618 in an ABC A equals C zigzag formation. 3. You don't buy 618, maybe 786, but definitely 100 as detailed. If you feel the market is about to swell early in the morning, 618 entry is okay, but if it's wishy-washy in that area, try 786 where I usually buy, or be safe by actually getting into the full breakout. Third waves form because wave 2 is like a slingshot. It's pulled way back to try to break the low of wave 1, but when it doesn't and is weak, the smart bears cover and the greedy bears run for the hills. It gets congested in the area and panic covering kicks off the 3. Like magic, it works 80% of the time since I perfected it. Now, back to the about to grow exponentially Chinese internets. That first innocent trade in Sohu was that start of a monster series of trades that I executed magnificently over 2003. I used to watch CNBC during the start of it and see some pretty massive percentage gains in these tiny techs from China. Sohu, NetEase, and Sina. But Sohu seemed to have it all. Incredible power, 1-2-3 patterns, and a quick recoveries and new highs. It was my favorite as you can see in this Google Doc. These are the actual trades I executed on these 3 Chinese horsemen. Sohu was in the focus, but I dabbled in NetEase and Sina. 17 of the 19 trades in the sector were profitable, and some of them were home runs. Again, it was a newly polished 1-2-3 pattern break setup that did it. This is what happened to Sohu for my first trade in February 03 to July of 03. $7 to $43 in 5 months. If you're wondering how a $2,540 account could turn to $45,000 in 19 months, just take a look at Sohu. Now what you're seeing is pretty funny. Yes, those are all Taser trades. Yes, Taser the Laser. Remember this guy? Super mega cult stock of 2004. I rode this bad boy over and over again in the first half of 2004. The best thing about the stock was 1. Serious momentum and violent reversals with high percentage gains daily. 2. Every zigzag would occur near the close, and the 1.00 when it broke was super violent. I mean 9 times out of 10, a big wave 3 1.618 breakout on every 1.00 move. 3. Stupid fundamental news drove the stock. Tiny orders of Taser equipment and even dumb articles on small websites filled with rumors caused pre-market activity to explode. 4. Every 1-2-3 pattern break setup would work as a T. It was a no-brainer after every zigzag and 1.00 break. Out of 17 trades, 16 were profitable. Better than an ATM machine. My first taste of cult stock Taser in 2004 occurred in the middle of March of that year. One of the easiest stocks to trade ever at the time. 1-2-3, 1.00, boom. Repeat over and over again. From $11 to $32 in just 7 weeks, post-split. My 4 horsemen in 2003 were Rambus, Sohu, NetEase, and Sina. But in 2004, there were Taser, RIM, Ask Jeeves, SanDisk, and Broadcom. I had some nice trades in KKD and Juniper as well. Bottom line was this. These stocks were still pretty decimated by mid-2004, so the beta was extremely powerful. Even the worst stock on the planet, RIM, was doing well at this time, and I executed some powerful profits in that very stock. Can you believe that this one pattern formula is what I bank on? Here's the problem. You may think, oh wow, I'm going to make millions. Millions! Slow down and breathe. The toughest part of 1-2-3 patterns is identifying the wave 2 and trusting the wave 2, and finally having faith There's enough congestion at 1.00 to cause an eruptive wave 3 that travels at 1.618 length. Here are the problems you may run into. 1. The first wave is not a first wave and just a 4 up before 5 down, or worse, upper 2 before downward 3. It's not easy to spot, and if you aren't experienced like I am, you may find yourself chasing after Bs and 2s without 3s. Layman's terms, you touch these, you're fucked. 2. You get impatient and chase a shallow wave 2, or the market has evolved quickly and likes to trick you into chasing every shallow wave 2. You have to be current with the state of Elliott wave every year, month, or second. In order to have this kind of information, keeping current with the evolvers is important. Yours truly is by far your best option. Me. I've seen this pattern evolve repeatedly over the years, and just because you think 1, 2, 3, and 1.00 is voila, think again. 3. You may run into an upward ABC. A downward B wave can be tricky and then break out way too shallow. Imagine believing the third wave is a C wave, or worse yet, a double B wave at 0.618. Sounds complicated? To me, no. To you, if you're a beginner, yeah. Solution. Whenever you can, as a new member, please remember, patience is important and chasing is death. My guidance on Wave Genius is essentially second to none. I've executed or made signals on thousands of trades over the years, and I always pick my spots. Sticking with me and my very experienced and talented members and being involved in the Elliott Wave community, well, not many 80% and 90% traders wait. I'm the only one. I have many lifetime members for a reason, because they cannot live without me. Here are the important points for members. 1. Be patient always. These setups typically occur once every 2 to 5 days, and I will sit on the sidelines and not blindly chase things. Gaps and spikes and exciting moves like that are great, but when you don't have a second wave into a third wave, where do you get in and where do you get out? It's tough trading blind, especially if it didn't create a signal. 2. I will try my best to ride the full 1.618 third wave until at least 90% of it is completed. Remember, do not get buyer's remorse if you see another couple points of upside. Buying at the peak of the 3 is not smart, and expecting a 1 in 5 2.618 move is delusional. Yes, it seems like magic, but it's not if you're stuck at the top of a 3 and staring down a huge cliff. 3. Do not anticipate a breakout and buy. My numbers and stop levels are there for a reason. Yes, there are times when I place a stop at 0.618 breakout. I will typically do this if the B wave is about to be breached. I can also do 786 of the C wave, 100 of the C wave, top of the B, 786 of the A or C in a zigzag, or just flat out 100 of the entire move. I've seen many times where my stop is 10 cents above the high of the day and it doesn't trigger. If you see a truncated fifth wave, look out. Wham! You've anticipated it, you're deep in the hole. I will place stops above 1.00 for a reason, and don't question it. If you want to be 80% profitable, please follow me carefully. 4. Remember also, this is an art form and not a science. Do not overthink, anticipate, or get impatient. I know people in this business who make 30 to 50 trades a day chasing 2 cents per trade. I call that crackhead trading. What I do has been perfected for over 11 years now. Now that I've got the mean stuff out of the way, let's get to business. See you guys in the chat room. Ted, Wave Genius Aguja. Music written by yours truly, the One Wave 3. Enjoy.
The path Upward Wave 3. Hear me, Prector?